Which do you prefer better, summer, winter, or fall? I've always been partial to winter, but, I'm not completely opposed to fall. Wait, don't tell me you actually thought I was talking about, the actual seasons. Outside, in the nature, with the people? Yeah, no, I don't do that. Last time I went outside, I saw this bright, big, yellow thing in the sky. It was awful. Hello Internet, JoJo here, and welcome to IdeaShock, where I don't need maiden powers to disappoint my family and friends. Also, because I can't get them. Because I'm a dude. Today, we're taking a look at the Fall Maiden, Cinder Fall. Or should I say, Cinder Falling? Because she's, falling. Okay. Today, we're going to discover the true powers of the Fall Maiden. In the world of Remnant, there is a legend of the four maidens. These four women were sisters named after the four seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. One day, these women met an old wizard. After showing him kindness, the old wizard asked,
"Why me?" he asked. "Why did the four of you choose to open my eyes, to share with me your gifts? Why am I so special?" The four sisters looked to one another, perplexed. Finally, the eldest spoke. "I beg your pardon, sir, but we did not do these things for you because you were special. We do what we can for everyone, because we are able." The old wizard was at a loss. Never in his years had he come across such kindness. It was in that moment that he knew what should be done. The wizard summoned his magic, every ounce he could muster, and bestowed it upon the sisters.
In return for these powers, the wizard only asked that they help anyone they could. These four women kept their promise. But years passed and the sisters died. When a maiden dies, the power of that maiden passes to another young woman. Countless times this happened until the power of the Fall Maiden was taken by the hands of Cinder Fall. However, she did not get her power the natural way. She made a deal with Salem, and Salem granted her the ability to steal the maiden's powers. After she hunted down the Fall Maiden, she then turned her attention to Beacon Academy and the Four Relics. The first time we get to see a maiden in combat is during Volume 5's final fight between Cinder and Raven. It also just happens to be the best fight in Volume 5, but that's just my opinion. During the fight, Cinder actually destroys this giant stalactite. Because all the stalactites in this fight are roughly the same size, we can use this stalactite here and compare it to the size of the relic chamber door. The relic chamber door is about 500 centimeters tall, and from that we can find the height and width of the stalactite about 3,000 centimeters by 1,600 centimeters. Now, if we use these numbers and put them to a cone formula, volume equals pi times radius squared multiplied by height divided by 3, we can find that the volume is about 2 billion cubic centimeters of limestone. With one punch, Cinder is able to break it into several pieces. To break this stalactite, Cinder would need to hit it with a force over 2.88 tons of TNT. For reference, this is over 4 times the amount of energy to vaporize a normal-sized human, roughly 2.33 gigajoules. With one punch, Cinder could vaporize 4 people without a trace. Kinda like she did to Pyrrha. Oh, snap.
I immediately regret this decision.
Speaking of snapping, yeah, I got nothing. I got no good transition here. So if you like this video, go ahead and comment on what character you want me to overanalyze next. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that's good too. You might as well go ahead and like it because, why not? you've watched some of my other videos, then you most likely know that one of the most useful formulas to use to find a character's speed is the kinetic energy formula. Since we know the energy that Cinder dealt, we can now estimate her weight to find her speed. Now would be the moment that I break the rule that every guy should know not to break. I must now discuss both her age and her weight. We can find her weight by using her height of 5'11". What kind of Amazon warrior is she? That's massive. Okay, wow, that is not what I expected. The Amazon warrior known as Cinder Fall appears to be from 20 to 23 years old, and according to the Miller ideal weight formula, the ideal weight for women between these ages is about 68 kilograms. Now that we know her weight and the energy produced, we can find that she would need to move at over 42,000 miles per hour, or 67,000 kilometers per hour. This is roughly 120 times faster than a Boeing 737 jetliner, or roughly 88 times faster than the speed of sound. The fight between Cinder and Raven is actually the only time that Cinder's aura breaks. In fact, it's the only time that we have seen Raven's aura break as well, although we haven't seen her that much in the story. Boy, do I have some things to say about her, but that's better saved till later. During the final fight, Cinder gets hit in the face by a falling stalactite, and she's fine. The impact force of a stalactite falling from that height, about 230 meters, would have had an impact force of almost 3 tons of TNT, or slightly over 60,000 tons of force. This all hit her directly in the face. This is far stronger than both Adam and Yang's aura defense put together. If you want to know what I mean by that, check out my video on Adam. It's pretty good if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself. This amount of damage is basically the extent of Cinder's aura durability. However, then the team over at Rooster Teeth did this. Raven Bronwyn hit Cinder in the face with a lightning bolt. A lightning bolt typically releases over 1 billion joules of energy. That's 9 zeros just for reference. Cinder takes this bolt without her aura, then was frozen solid, and then fell into a shadowy abyss without her aura. Before Cinder got the superpowers of the maidens, she used to embed magic dust into her clothes, which is actually really smart. Why don't more RWBY characters do that? Anyway, she typically uses rock and fire dust. However, since she got her maiden powers, she's been shown to be able to use every other type of dust. The maiden powers are actually just really stupid. The only thing they really do is to allow unlimited and unrestricted use of dust. And yeah, I get it. Crow and Raven can turn into birds. But that was Ozpin's magic, not their own. It is specifically stated that they only have unrestricted access to dust, not magic itself.
What if I were to tell you that there were 4 maidens existing in this world that could wield such tremendous power without dust?
All the maidens can use is different types of dust. They have not been shown to use the magic in any other way. Maiden powers also does not strengthen aura durability, strength, or speed. This is shown by the fact that Raven is significantly weaker than Cinder. Raven took much less damage in the fight before her aura broke. And Raven never shows power on par with Cinder. Not all maidens are made equally. Cinder is a master of all weapon types. She is an expert with a bow, short sword, long sword, dual blades, and hand-to-hand combat. Before she got her maiden powers, she used a solid metal blade, but since she got her powers, she has only used blades that she made from stone dust. Most likely obsidian. This is actually not a good thing for Cinder. Her blades aren't strong enough to handle her power, which means that anyone she hits won't be getting the full force of her attack. Imagine hitting someone with a piece of paper. No matter how strong you are, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage if it's not solid. But because Cinder's blades kept breaking, Raven never got the full impact of one of her attacks. Cinder's Grim Arm is the only thing in the series that has a 100% surefire way to take power from opponents. Theoretically, Cinder's Grim Arm could take any magical power from any character that she fights against. And her arm also has claws, which is pretty cool. And it stretches. She's like an evil Monkey D. Luffy. Cinder may be powerful, but she has a very one-track mind, and is slightly unhinged. She often obsesses over one thing for weeks or even months, but when faced with that thing, she completely forgets about it. That actually may be bad writing. Anyways, this makes it very easy for her to be tricked and distracted. An example of this is how she lost her fight against Raven. She was simply outthought. Raven was just much smarter than her when it came to combat. The Grim Arm is also unable to be protected by Aura.
Aura can't protect your arm. It's grim. You turned yourself into a monster just for power. Look who's talking.
Even though that doesn't quite make sense, because if Aura can cover a weapon, or like a train car, then it should be able to cover a Grim Arm. Whatever. This part of the video is where I would typically give a general overview of their character, but Cinder doesn't have anything to say. Literally all we know is that she recruited Cinder and Mercury, said this to Pyrrha.
Do you believe in destiny?
Yes.
Blackmailed the White Fang into attacking Beacon with her.
We could have gone to anyone for help, but we chose you, Adam Taurus. Our plan will be beneficial for both of us.
And that's it. We don't know anything about her history, we don't know anything about her goals, and we don't know why she follows Salem. Cinder is only motivated by anger and revenge. If I know anything, it's that anger is a short-term motivator. You can't use it for long-term goals. Cinder Fall is an incredibly popular villain in the RWBY fandom, but I was not a fan when she first appeared. But after researching this video, I found myself really liking her. At least, I liked early Cinder. She was so smug and smart. It was great. But that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching to the end. Remember to stay spectacular. See you next time. JoJo out.